What's cracking, everybody? Welcome to Boo TV. While you're here, do me a big favor and like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell so you stay notified whenever we upload a new video. Thank you for stopping in. I appreciate you for watching. Thanks for the support, and let's get into the topic for today. You know, I have a problem with these major networks and big time sports shows. First Take, First Things First, the FS1 shows, the ESPN shows, all those shows, whatever. I have a problem when they sit here and like to expel all this energy, release all this energy about certain teams / players when they're really struggling and going through their woes, through their trials and tribulations. But yet, when teams start to play well, or players start to play well behind their teams or leading their teams, whatever the case may be, they don't keep that same energy. They don't approach that level of success with the same vigor that they approach for their failures. And I have a problem with that. It seems like when it comes to the game of basketball, only the Los Angeles Lakers get talked about equally for their highs and their lows. And I understand Los Angeles Lakers, the franchise itself, is arguably the most popular franchise in the NBA and most relevant. And then when you attach LeBron James to that franchise, it takes it to a whole nother level. Not to mention Anthony Davis and Russell Westbrook. So I get it. But still, for example, the Brooklyn Nets, and this is really about the Brooklyn Nets. When the Brooklyn Nets were struggling, they were in struggle city, right there with the Lakers, right there with the Golden State Warriors. And they were getting talked about a lot. What's wrong with the Nets? Oh, Kyrie Irving's a problem. Kyrie Irving's a distraction. Kevin Durant is a distraction to a lesser degree. Kevin Durant isn't a leader. Kevin Durant isn't a good leader. Kyrie Irving isn't a leader at all. Ben Simmons is lost. He's emotional. He has psychological problems. He doesn't want to play. He doesn't love basketball. Kevin Durant doesn't care about basketball as much as other players. He doesn't care about his legacy. All this stuff. And it was met with a certain amount of energy, and it was constantly talked about, right? And they were in struggle city, right there with the Lakers and the Golden State Warriors. But the Lakers are still in struggle. The Lakers are still in struggle city. The Golden State Warriors still have a long stay in the Best Western Inn at struggle city. But the Brooklyn Nets has checked out of their Best Western, hopped on the bus, and got out of struggle city. The Brooklyn Nets are now fourth in the Eastern Conference when they were outside the playoff picture at one point. They are now fourth in the Eastern Conference. They have won 11 of their last 12 games. They are 2.5 games outside of the number 1 seed. Completely turned their season around. But no one is barely talking about it. And these same shows, these same people, these same networks that love to talk about their failures and their struggles have not applied that same amount of energy to their success that they have been having over the last couple of weeks. And I have a problem with that. I absolutely do. Either they don't mention them at all in some episodes or segments, or they very briefly touch on it. Very briefly. Or they don't touch on it at all. And if they touch on it, they really don't give them their credit. As hard as they bashed them and hammered them, they don't prop them up the same way and give them their daps, give them their respect when it's due. Right? Now, if you're going to call these boys, they ain't no leaders, what do you call us now? Are they still not leading their team? Are they still not having an impact on wins and losses? But this time the other way around? Tell me Kevin Durant isn't a good leader. You ask anybody in that locker room, I bet you they'll beg to differ. Is Kevin Durant the leader that you guys might want him to be? No. But if you know anything about leadership, it's that there are different ways to lead. And while there may be different ways to lead, and while people may have their preference of which leadership they prefer, it doesn't necessarily make it more effective or not as effective, the other way around. Kobe Bryant wasn't a terrible leader. He was a different leader. But Kobe Bryant's leadership still led to 5 championships. And it's a very different kind of leadership than LeBron James has. And LeBron James has also had success in his leadership. I would dare not say Kevin Durant is not a good leader. No way. Absolutely not. He's absolutely leading the same. KD does a great job at reading the game and reading the atmosphere. And even still, I wish KD would shoot more than he actually does. But he's extremely unselfish. People aren't talking about the Brooklyn Nets right now on these major networks. They're not giving them their props. And I don't hear Kevin Durant ever mentioned in the MVP conversation. He's 2.5 games out of the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference, sitting in the 4th seed. The team is hot right now. And Kevin Durant is averaging 30 points per game, 6 rebounds, 5 assists on 56% shooting. 36 from three-point land, 92 from free throw land, and a 60.8 effective field goal percentage. Do you understand that easy money sniper Kevin Durant is primarily a jump shooter? And he's shooting at 56.4% and over 60 on effective field goal percentage. Do you know how nuts that is as a jump shooter? There's a reason he's called easy money sniper, baby. His name should be mentioned in the MVP conversation, considering his numbers, his leadership, his team record, especially how they're playing right now. They're one of the hottest teams in the league. But nobody's talking about it. Keep that same energy, man. Keep it. Y'all love to bash the Brooklyn Nets. You love to bash Kevin Durant when they down. But when they up and they showing you what that business is, give these people their props. Give the team their props. Talk about them. Talk about them in the opposite light, but with the same amount of energy. That's my problem with these networks. And I wanted to shed some light, man, because ain't nobody talking about it. I'm like, yo, the Brooklyn Nets been whooping ass lately. Kevin Durant been whooping ass lately. Even Kyrie Irving been playing well. Ben Simmons done found his niche. But nobody giving these men their props. Nobody talking about them. And we ain't even getting in Yuta Watanabe yet, but you already know that boy Yuta smooth with it. Man, pay homage. Show respect. The Brooklyn Nets are balling. They're making their way right back into it. I would love to see him get up there to the number 1 or 2 seed in the East. I would love it. Because so many people love to hate him. There'll be a lot of sour faces and disgruntled analysts out there. And they still won't give him their props. They'll say it's all fake, it's all false. Just wait to the playoffs. They'll lose. That's what they'll say. But I'm talking about the regular season right now. And they're showing up. And they're showing out. This is a different Brooklyn Nets team from last year. Very different team. Different leadership from the coaching perspective. Utilizing Ben Simmons different. Well, differently than what Steve Nash was doing in the beginning of this season. But now they have Ben Simmons. Now they have a Yuta Watanabe. Now they have a TJ Warren. This is a much better roster than they had last year. Y'all let me know what you think about it. Brooklyn, stand up. Where the Brooklyn Nets fans at? Brooklyn, stand up. New York, New York. Appreciate you guys. Let me know what you think about it. Like, comment, subscribe. Go put some respect on the Brooklyn Nets, Kevin Durant. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. We out, baby.